Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's look, I'm doing a very minimal, fresh makeup look. So even though it does say minimal, I'm not talking about just doing a little blush and mascara. We're still using, different products, but it still just has a very minimal look on the face. It's very fresh, it's very clean. When I think of minimal, clean makeup, I think very healthy skin. So that's what we are working with for today. I first want to start with a really smooth base, and so since I tend to have larger pores, and when I'm thinking like a fresh poreless face, I definitely want to be using a primer that does that. So I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. This is a very inexpensive product, and I'm just going to take a couple pumps of this and start right here on my nose and kind of right here in my T-zone where my pores are at their largest. I'm going to be using my Garnier Bb Cream. I use this in medium to deep, and this is the combination to oily one. I swear I'll have this product forever. It's like the product that never ends. I've had this for so long. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to be using a damp sponge. This one is from Real Techniques, and this is just going to help it go on a little bit more lightweight and give it a nice dewy, fresh finish. Okay, so that worked to even out our skin tone. As you can see, it kind of has like a luminous finish to it. That's what using that damp beauty blender will do. Next, let's go ahead and use some concealer. Today I'm going to be using my Maybelline Master Conceal, and I'm using this in the fair shade. And I'm just going to take some right here and apply this underneath my eyes just to help brighten up that area and conceal any dark circles. Definitely for this look, we don't want to have, some of that purple, blue, sometimes it's even a little bit brown underneath my eyes, so I want to conceal all that, and I'm just going to carry it on to my nose since there's always some redness around that area. And then I'm going to buff it in the rest of the way using this blender again. At the under eye, I just want to use a light dusting of powder, and I'm going to be using this e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. This is a little bit similar to my Laura Geller Secret Brightening Powder. It has a little bit more, I would say, shimmer than that one, but it just looks like this. I'm going to use a light dusting of that just to set underneath my eye. As always, that's kind of a personal preference if you want to set your concealer or not. I always like to do so, and this product goes great with their Flawless Concealer Brush. And I'm definitely going to tap off a lot of that product because I don't want too much. Now, as far as an all-over face powder, I'm just going to use a light dusting of this Color Wheel. This is from NYC, and this is their Mosaic face powder. I have this one in bronzed pink, so it has a nice mixture of a lot of different colors in there with yellow, pink, and a couple bronzy tones. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to mix it all together, and when you do that, you just get kind of like a light tan powder. And I'm using this e.l.f. mineral powder brush. I'm opting for this rather than a larger powder brush because I want to be very precise about where I'm putting it. Again, I don't want to use a lot of powder. And then for bronzer, I don't want to be going into my really strong contours, those cool tone contours that I've talked about before. I more just want a nice bronzy look to kind of warm up the skin. So I'm going to be using this bronzer from Rimmel, and this is in the shade Sunlight. I think it's pretty much matte. It might have a little bit of a satin finish. I've used so much of it that it's kind of hard to tell, but it's definitely not overwhelming. It's just a light bronzy shade. So like I said, I don't want to get into contouring, and I also don't want to get into really dark bronzers. I want to keep this light and fresh. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this just in my usual around the perimeters of my face, a little bit under my cheekbones. So yeah. So for blush, I'm going to be using this cream blush from e.l.f. and this is in the shade Peach Perfection. And just to set everything and kind of break through some of that powder, I'm using my NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. So even though I do tend to have oily skin, I prefer this version in the dewy skin. They also have a matte version, but I find that the dewy one just makes my skin look more natural and more skin-like. So sometimes, you know, when you get all that powder and then you put a matte setting spray on top of it, it just looks very one-dimensional, and I like this one because it literally, I feel like, just lets my skin show through, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. So that's all I'm going to do for the face. I don't think that we need a highlighter because we still kind of have some of that luminosity just coming from that BB cream and that using that damp sponge and then using that dewy setting spray. So that's all I'm going to do. And for the eyes, we're going to keep it really simple as well. I definitely don't want to get too dark with this look. So first, I'm going to be using my Jordana Made to Last eyeshadow pencil, and this is in Continuous Almond, and I'm going to be using this as my primer and my base. One of my favorite tricks for making my eyes look big and wide awake is to take this little pencil and put it in my inner rim. So especially for this look, I don't want to have a lot of redness showing through, and especially with my eyes, so I'm going to go ahead and line that inner rim. And then I'm going to be using my Sonia Kashuk Ion Neutral palette. This is the 02 one, which is the matte ones. It has a lot of really great shades, but I'm mostly just going to be working with these neutral shades down here, as well as that peach and maybe that pinky tone as well. First for the base, I'm just going to be using this kind of cream neutral color. Honestly, these up here are all really interchangeable. So I'm just going to go into this one and apply that all over the lid. And then I'm going to go into this light pinky tone here and concentrate that more in the middle. And then for just a little bit of a crease, I'm going to go into this dark warm brown right here. And again, keep that very natural. I'm going to tap off a lot of it and use a very light hand, just a little bit of product. Blend everything together. We are just keeping this so easy. This look is a great daytime look. No reason to pull in really any other shades except just add a little bit underneath the brow bones. I'm just going to use that white and just apply that right here. And for this look, eyeliner is completely optional, so if you just want to go ahead and move right onto mascara, that's fine. I am going to use a little bit of eyeliner. I'm going to be using this Physicians Formula one. This came, I think it's called the Warm Nude Eyes Trio. And then I'm just going to curl my lashes. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Clump Crusher extensions. This really just operates so much like the original Maybelline Clump Crusher. This just happens to be the extensions one, but it really acts the same. And the thing that's nice about this is I don't want any clumps on my lashes at all for this look. Nobody wants a spidery lash look, especially when you're doing clean and natural. So I love this one because the wand is never clumpy. Like, it's always looks this clean. And for brows, I just want to keep it very light again, so I'm going to be using this Jordana little pencil. I believe it's called the Fabu Brow. I'm not for sure, so I'll link it below just because it's like worn off on some of the writing, and I use this in the medium brown. It doesn't matter how minimal my look is, even if I was only going to use 3 products, my brow pencil is always going to be in the mix. And then for my lips, I'm going to be using my Revlon Color Burst. This is like one of their jumbo matte balms, and I'm using this in the shade Complex. I believe it is, it's 230. Okay, so there you have it. It's a very simple look, especially for summer too. You don't always want to have a ton of product caked on. This is a beautiful daytime look. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. That way then you get a notification on all of my videos. But have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!